Hi, I'm Jeannie. Welcome to Mimi Craft, your home for all things creative and DIY on a budget. I make all the mistakes so you don't have to. A big shout out to my subscribers. The channel's really growing. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to like the video and to comment at the end. If this is the first time visiting my channel, welcome. I hope you find something here that makes you want to return. Now, on to the crafting. I'm going to start with something very simple and very practical and easy to do. I'm going to glue 9 blocks together in the pattern I'm showing you here. This is going to be the front of the phone holder. After you've glued the 9th block, you're going to take 1 block and glue it the way you see here in the video. Now for the back. The back is going to be 3 wide and only 2 high, with the same block at the bottom when you finished. When both pieces have dried thoroughly, you're going to glue them together right in the middle as you see here on the video. Just make sure you let the glue dry thoroughly before you use it. My next project is a set of coasters. We'll be alternating colors between the raw wood and the printed brown blocks. As you can see, they're glued end to end and then glued together, alternating colors, for a total of 12 blocks, 6 of each color. I made a total of 8 coasters. Now for the coaster holder or caddy. I'm going to start out by making a structure just like the coaster itself. This is just a different way of gluing it. I'm doing it a little bit differently than I did with the actual coasters. And now that you have that structure glued together, you're going to take 4 of the raw wood, glued end to end, and glue them to that base. The corners are going to be open. I made 4 columns by gluing 4 brown blocks together, as you see here in the video. Those are going to be the support corners. Now for the walls, we're going to be using the natural color wood glued end to end, 2 of those. We're going to glue 1 at the very bottom. Now those columns are going to be raised up above. We're gluing those way to the front, so all the way down on the pad. You'll see that those columns are sticking up. You can't tell from the video. Then the second one is glued right in the middle, right where that seam is. And then you'll do the exact same thing with the other 2 columns. Now we're going to be doing the opposite sides. Again, we're going to take these end-to-end pieces. Now we're going to glue them straight up. You can see how we're gluing them all the way to the outside and lining them up to the other ones that we glued earlier. After those have dried, place glue on the very tips as you see here. You're going to take that other side, flip it over, and then glue that on. Make sure everything is nice and even before the glue dries while you still have a little wiggle room. Then use the square to make sure everything is just perfect. Now you're going to take the base, put glue in all the corners. This is Aleene's tacky glue, by the way. I found that this holds better on the painted blocks. Take the structure, put it in, and press it down nice and tight. And here they are. Aren't they cute? I still need to seal them with Mod Podge before we start using them, but I'm really happy with the way they turned out. Now we're going to make some risers. I got this idea from looking at coffee tables on Pinterest. So these are like mini versions of coffee tables. Here you can see the order in which you want to lay your blocks down to get the shape that you want. We're going to be making 2 of these because they're going to interconnect. Here they are all glued together. You're going to put the openings close to one another, and this is the way it's going to go together. And you're going to glue the ends exactly where I'm pointing. I'm using wood glue here. Aleene's tacky glue would have been so much better. It holds a lot faster. The painted blocks just don't like that wood glue. Now here I'm putting some supports to let everything dry. I'm adding glue to that top one. And just really give it some time to set. I wanted a clear square top, but didn't know where to get an 8x8 piece of glass, so I custom cut a piece of acrylic from this acrylic 8x10 frame that I found at Dollar Tree. If you don't mind just taking the glass out of a cheap frame you already have, or from a Dollar Tree frame that's 8x10, that would work out well too. I used this cutting tool that I bought at Home Depot. Here are 2 of the acrylic frames side by side. On the left, I already cut the back off, and I still have to cut off the bottom part. That's the piece that was left over. I'm going to use that for another project. You have to score the acrylic or the plastic a whole bunch of times before it'll break, but you don't have to do it hard. Just do it maybe 20-25 times, but very gently. And then when you're done, you can just break that piece off. I grabbed a pair of pliers to do that. Easy peasy. You can see it's got that plastic film on it to protect it. And now I'm measuring out the other 8 inches using a straight edge. And again, using the cutter to score it before I break that piece off. And these are the leftover scraps. Took off the protective film and just laid it right on top of that little structure that I built. I'm not going to glue that down because I want to be able to remove it. This is what it looks like. Like a teeny tiny mini coffee table, and you can use it to display any old thing you'd like. This next riser is for a 5x7 piece of glass, or if you want to cut some acrylic. You'll need 5 of these little structures made up of 3 blocks each, and then 2 extra blocks. You're going to take the 2 extras to connect 2 of the C or U shapes. Glue those down with Aleene's tacky glue. And then let that dry. So that first structure was the top. These other 3 U shapes are going to be used as the legs. I'm going to put 2 on one side and 1 on the other. And here it is with the piece of acrylic on top of it. I found when I put it this way, I was able to put a couple little succulents in there. Really interesting way to use this piece. This is another structure for a 5x7 piece of glass. We're going to make the top the same way. This time we're only going to use 2 of the U-shaped structures as legs. Here it is with the glass on it. And here it is displaying a few small candles and a little greenery. On to our big project. We're going to be making a sconce to hold a candle, or it could hold something else if you want to, something real small. We're going to take 15 blocks and glue them in the order that I'm doing right here. We'll be gluing them one on top of the other, the width of 1 block. Just keep watching. You'll need to keep this project on its side, as you see here, for its entirety in order for it to hold together. Here I am gluing them together, checking with the block every time to make sure that I have them perfectly spaced. When you get to the center, now you're going to start gluing your way back down to do the other side. And again, I'm using the block as a spacer. So you're going to go 7 blocks on each side, and then the 15th block is the one up in the middle. Continue gluing the blocks until you have them 5 wide. You can go wider if you want to. That's just what I did for this particular project. Since the project's laying on its side, I probably should have said 5 tall. Before the glue sets, use something nice and flat like this wide ruler I'm using here to make sure that this is going to lay flat against the wall. This is what it looks like. Now that it's completely dry, I'm going to show you where I'm going to put the hooks. This could be hung either horizontally or vertically, so I'm going to put sawtooth hangers. I went ahead and attached those off camera. This is the little shelf that's going to go in the middle. I'm going to glue 3 pieces together, and that's all there is to the shelf. I'm going to place the shelf exactly where you want it and draw a pencil line. And those 2 dots are where we're going to put some screws in. I'm just a little wary of using only glue to hold those in. Those are pilot holes. On the back side, I'm going to put those screws in with the drill until they just barely poke through on the other side. Now I'm going to take some white paint. This is going to help you to mark the shelf so you know where to screw the holes. A little bit of white paint on the tips of those screws, and then I'm going to very carefully line that up, press it down, and voila! That's where you drill your pilot holes. These blocks are really skinny, so the pilot holes are very important. If you try to just put the screws in, it's going to split the wood. I think the glue here is overkill, but I went ahead and placed that shelf right over those screws and then screwed them in. So they should be nice and tight. I made 2 smaller shelves using the exact same method, only they were 13 blocks long. This is what it looks like if you were to hang these up horizontally. You can see I already put the shelf on that bottom one. I forgot that I wanted to take some video of what these look like horizontally. But here's what they look like with the shelves on. This is what they look like during the day. I did decide to put candles on. This is what they look like at night. I am so happy with these. They're so pretty. And here's a vignette at nighttime of all the projects. So what do you guys think of these? Let me know in the comments below. Which one's your favorite? Do you think you're going to make them yourself? Please let me know. Until next time, bye!